They were moving from Toronto, and they met me at the hotel, and they had spoken to me over the telephone multiple times. First time I'd ever met them was when I was picking them up at the hotel. And I went to the hotel fully expecting that we would go on a tour of neighborhoods and areas. Okay. And I get to the hotel, and one of the challenges I had on the phone with them was these were a very interesting couple, but they talked over each other all the time. You know what I mean by talking over each other? I'm sure you have guests who talk over you half a lot or whatever, okay? So when it was very difficult to get to know them very well over the phone. But when they arrived, I met them at the hotel. And to my surprise, when I got there, they had a table in the lobby, and they said, please sit down. And they explained to me that they were going to continue to interview 3 people, and that I was the last person they were interviewing, and that they still hadn't decided who was going to be their agent. And so the young lady who was the buyer, the wife, said to me, I'm just curious that there are 3 really good agents that were highly recommended by people that we trust, that were recommended that we were interviewed. Why should we choose you versus the other 2? Well, you can imagine I had to give a good answer, didn't I? And so I looked at them and I paused and I said, I think the reason is that when we talked on the phone, you told me that you were coming here to live here for some years, but that you would probably move back to Toronto. Is that right? Right. Well, the reason you should choose me is I don't sell houses. I help you make a good decision. I help you make a decision that will be good for you financially and for your lifestyle while you're living here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then someday when you leave, I always think about what's the exit plan? How are you going to move out of a property, not just get into a property? And so they looked at me and they asked me another question. This was a couple that didn't have any children. And I had sent them a Finding a Home guidebook, which was a tool that I use in working with clients when I work with someone. And the Finding a Home guidebook was a unique book. It was probably 100 pages long. And they said, in your book, you talk a great deal about school districts, choosing a good school district, but we don't have any children. Why would that be important to us? I said, well, it's a very good question, but a very high percentage of people who move to our area have children, and a very high percentage of those people are focused on what the schools are like, what opportunities in the school districts are available for the children to grow and be successful in their lives. And so it's highly probable that when you sell your home, the person who's looking for your home is going to be very interested in school districts. So you should not buy in an area that has average or poor schools, because your ability to resell the property down the road could be negatively impacted by that choice. They kind of paused and looked for a minute. Then the husband said to me, Sonny, I think we're ready to go. Let's go look at houses.